Gonna water our greenhouse. Okay, water inside. Teal House Farm. We're going to plant the rest of our greenhouse today, which is going to be pretty quick and simple because it's already 50% planted. I've already got zucchini in there, and I've got potatoes, and I've got carrots and beets. And let me show you what we're adding today. Okay, we're keeping it pretty simple. So what we have left to plant are just containers. Being loud. We're going to do 2 varieties of spinach. One's like a baby spinach, one's a really large spinach. And I usually do a lettuce mix for the winter in the greenhouse. It does really well, but I don't have any seeds. Here, don't mess with that. I don't have any seeds. I'm not going to buy any seeds right now. So we're just going to do spinach. And if there's tons of it, it's totally fine because spinach is really easy to can or freeze. We're going to do a little bit of cabbage, just a few of them. I've tried cabbage in the greenhouse in the spring. And what usually ends up happening is at the very end, when it's about time for it to start getting the nice head on it, it gets too hot and it kills the cabbage. So we're going to try cabbage in the greenhouse in the fall and see how it does going into winter. I have this container variety broccoli, which I tried this spring and it did not do very well. I've changed the composition of the pot soil. We'll talk about that in a minute. So we're going to try it again. And then I'm going to plant another row of carrots just in the ground in the greenhouse as well because I have a little bit more room.
Mama, do you hear that noise?
Don't bang the window. All right here, Goobs. Let's put your shoes on. Okay, we're getting ready. Okay, so we got a little weeds growing and we'll take care of that. Got zucchini, carrots that we're gonna fill in because you can see they didn't.
You need to dig a hole.
Just a minute, they didn't sprout evenly at all. And some beets again didn't sprout evenly. We'll fill those in. Got a potato in there, and here's our pots for the spinach and broccoli and cabbage. All right, we ready to plant?
Yeah.
Let's work on it. Okay, so the pots I have redone, and they are 50% potting soil and 50% of our compost. Before I had done 50% compost, 50% fill dirt, and what happened is it just basically turned into concrete. It was hard as a rock. It made the germination rates terrible. So this potting soil is nice and loamy and loose. I think it'll be a really good mix. It's obviously more expensive, but you know, it doesn't really matter if you're not growing anything, how cheap something was. It's got to grow something. So, but they were already filled, so all we do today was plant. So Isla's helping me plant some cabbage here. She digs the holes, and I'll put a couple in each and thin them out later. I'd rather overplant and thin out than underplant and then miss growing deadlines because something didn't sprout. I do 1 box of cabbages, so 2 cabbages in each box, 1 box of broccoli, 2 in each box, and 3 of the spinach. With the spinach and lettuces, the seeds are so small, I usually just broadcast them and then kind of shake them into the dirt, and then I'll thin them out once they sprout. And then I'm going to go plant some carrots on the ground there where I showed you before, but we discovered that the envelope was open on the bottom and the top, so no carrot seeds left, but a quick trip inside and I found some left over, and it looks like the date on these is still great. These are from this year, so should still have really good germination. Back out to the greenhouse, we're just gonna kind of fill these in and get a better germination. It was totally my fault they didn't do well. I just didn't water enough, so we'll fix our mistakes and make it better. You got it? Keep walking. We gotta go water our plant. Okay, stand in the dirt. I'll hand it in. Okay, water each pot. Isla does a good job watering. I'm not worried about her overwatering these parts. They have a drain tray in them. These are great pots. So she can just water to her little delight. And then when she's done, I go in and I finish. And you don't have to worry about over soaking them because, like I said, there's a drainage tray on the bottom that's going to help siphon out too much water. Okay, that should do it. It's pretty simple. The germination problems are really my fault. Been kind of lazy about watering because earlier this fall, I got a hair like right in my glasses, sorry. Earlier this fall, it rained every day. After having a spring where it didn't rain at all, and then suddenly had a very wet fall. And then I just got really complacent and I stopped watering. So we're just gonna make sure we get out there and water every day. That greenhouse does not take a long time, and that'll help fill in those germination issues and then make sure that the pots germinate really well. As far as wrapping the greenhouse, I'm still waiting on that. It still gets pretty hot during the day, several days of the week, like up near 90. And you gotta be careful when you have a greenhouse where you don't have like venting options. This is a DIY, really cheap greenhouse we made with like a cattle panel, and we use painter's plastic. Like, this is not a high quality greenhouse, but it grows great food. But because it doesn't have like built-in venting options, can't like open it really well to vent, it gets really hot in there if it's covered while it's hot out, and so I don't want to smother my plants. So I'm waiting until it looks like we have consistently cooler weather, or at least the highs aren't getting above like maybe 80 or 85, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it for the winter. I know I mentioned before, I do want to heat the greenhouse, and I have a couple ideas. I need to make a video about those ideas and see what you guys think. It's a really small space, so it shouldn't be super complicated to just give it a little bit of heat on really cold nights. So right now, when it drops below about 20, when you get to teens in weather, when we get to teen temperatures, that's when everything in the greenhouse dies. It's just too cold at night. But I figure if I have a simple heater in there, and we can heat it up at night for maybe an hour or two on a really cold night, and it'll retain that water or that heat because there's not venting in there, that maybe we can grow all year round instead of having to stop using the greenhouse around Christmas time and then wait until March to restart it. So I'll try to make a video on that this week, and if not next week, because I'm really curious what you guys think. I've been looking at some ideas from things that the Amish do. We have a lot of Amish around us, things like that. So thanks so much for watching anyway. We'll keep you up to date on what's growing. I hope you're enjoying your fall, and we'll see you guys soon.